Landscaping in proximity of new home construction poses some certain issues. The first of which is utilities. And you can see our gas line running right through the middle of our landscape. The second is contaminants. You see trash left over, soda cans and pop cans. You can see some masonry pieces from the veneer construction, broken pieces, chip pieces, whole pieces used as backfill. You can see metal, I don't even know where that came from, and pieces of wood from the interior construction, 2x4s, 2x6s, parts of pallets. That's a big concern because those materials are biodegradable. My biggest concern against this foundation wall is that ready-mix concrete is a naturally wicking medium. It has pores in it, and those pores transfer vapor. And you can see just right on the corner, the stucco area and part of the foundation have already begun to crack. That means there's going to be water potentially in the basement of that house. We want to work within this proximity, so we need to make it very clear that we are not liable for this area of over excavation, 8 foot of excavation, 2 to 3 feet out from the foundation wall. But we're going to do our best to make sure there's no settlement. At Techo-Bloc, we have solutions. Our Borealis, our Roca, and in this case, our Raffinato Step are self-bridging products that we're going to use to build our raised patio in a permeable application. Following the NCMA rules, the National Concrete Masonry Association, we're going to start with classifying our soil. Our soil has a CBR, or California Bearing Ratio, of below 5. That's the worst of the worst. And when we apply our USCS and USDA pyramids, we are squarely in that clay zone. So we're going to begin with a chemical amendment, a granular lime material. This granular lime added, hand thrown across that soil subgrade, 50 pounds per 100 square feet, will change the chemistry of the clay particles. Clay looks like a number of plates that are set on top of each other, and they allow water to get trapped beneath them. Once that lime interacts with that clay, it will release that water. Our second amendment is going to be an ASTM number 57 stone. This is a 3/4 inch clean material, and we're going to add that to our clay subgrade. That will change the gradation and increase the bearing ability. By increasing the range of particles, we can make it stronger. Our compaction against the foundation wall will use what's commonly called the jumping jack. That is a point rammer. Works well against walls or in trenches, not in open excavations. For all the other areas around our raised patio, we're going to use a reversible vibratory plate compactor with a centrifugal force rating of 8,000 pounds plus. Once we're done that, we can install our geotextile, build our base, and begin the construction of our raised patio. Our soil subgrade has been amended. We're fortunate to have Bartell equipment here to get that level of compaction that we need. This is a point rammer. It's the BT1400. 3,000 pounds worth of force on a point rammer. It works on amplitude, half the distance the drum travels, getting that compacted against that foundation wall. We're also very lucky to have the BR4600 on site. It's a reversible vibratory plate with 10,000 pound centrifugal force rating. Fired up. At Bartell, their motto is, we don't run half fast. Same speed, forward and reverse. That saves you time, that saves you money. We've installed our geotextile over that compacted soil subgrade. It's the Gator Fabric 5. It's a woven geotextile fabric. It extends up the sides of the excavation. It is shingled. Our area is level, but we would still shingle it. Our overlap is 2 to 3 feet. Our base material is ASTM number 57 stone. It is a self-consolidating material. Little to no compactive effort is needed to get this to its maximum level of density. To make sure it's plenty strong, we've sandwiched 4 inches between a layer of Gator Grid 3030. It is a biaxial geogrid that will give this plenty of strength in new home construction. You can see our first course of raffinado steps are going in. That's going to make up the framework and the wall of our raised patio application. From the top of our first unit to the threshold on the sliding glass door, we should be at 49 inches. And we're perfect. You can see now we're installing our drain. Our drain's at the lowest grade point. We're using a brand new product from Pave Tool called the retaining wall spillway. We're going to cut this Schedule 35 pipe. Go ahead, fire it up. The patented lip on the spillway will allow any water that may be trapped behind this application to run off outside of our area of excavation. We're going to have a drainage swale that leads out to the road, so none of that water will affect the integrity of our wall. Thanks a lot, Phil. This raised patio with raffinado steps is moving right along. We're at the finished grade of our raised patio. We have a 7-inch rise from our last unit into the threshold of the house. Now we're using our raffinado step. Our raffinado step has a consistent 7-inch rise, so we used it for the entire raised structure. Its tread depth, 14.5 inches, so it makes it very comfortable to walk up. Because of that 14.5-inch depth, we're also going to use it as part of the landing of our raised patio. And to complement it, we're going to use our Blue Grande Shale Gray in HD2. That's definition and density, hyper smooth. It's going to be a great complement to the scale and smoothness of our wall block. Now we're going to be installing it in a permeable application. Open graded stone, open graded bedding, and the Alliance Aqua Rock number 9 stone will be our joint fill for that application. We couldn't be more different with our contrasting product Squadra, 3.5 by 3.5, 2 3/8 inch thick. We're going to use that in a hybrid installation as an accent. Same open graded base, same open graded bedding layer, but we're going to use the FlexLock Ultra G2 dustless polymeric sand for the joints on that part of our project. Now you'll notice that I am completely encapsulated by wall block. This wall here is what we call a relief wall. I don't want any unbalanced fill. I don't want the weight of this structure pressing against the house or its basement. So this is going to relieve that tension. Also, I have a 1/2-inch gap here. That 1/2-inch gap would typically be taken up with a cap. That cap will cover that opening. But because I'm using our raffinado step, there's no cap on this application. I need to fill in that area. I'm going to do that with a closed cell foam. This very pliable closed cell foam can be inserted into that gap. I'm still maintaining air circulation, which is important. I'm going to push it all the way down into that so the homeowners don't see it. And now any wind-blown debris, leaves, trash, anything the snow or the wind may be carrying with it will be kept on the surface. I can easily leaf blow that area, clean it out, hose it out. Now on the far side of my raised patio, I have the hottest new trend in outdoor living, a mini grill island. It's also going to act as the barrier to make sure that nobody falls off this elevated structure. Now we're going to use our raffinado step again. We're going to have an access door will act as the vent on one side, and the Pave Tool Innovators proprietary vent system, so we have cross ventilation that will keep any gas from building up, condensation from occurring, and give those homeowners a nice attractive look. Now they'll be able to access this mini grill island from these doors here. Saves them a tremendous amount of energy running an oven inside in the summer. Terrible idea. And the food is healthier and it's tastier. So my raised patio in a permeable application, mini grill island, glass railing attached to the outside of the perimeter. It's going to be modern, it's going to be functional, it's going to be fun. Pave Tool Innovators proprietary drain system for this planning decorative gravel island is very important because of its proximity to the foundation wall. Plus, this area will be irrigated, so we don't want any ponding and pooling water in this area, so we're going to drain it out to daylight. Following IBC and engineer specs, we're going to install a railing system on our raised patio that complements, not detracts from the feeling of the outdoors. Wood decks tend to give an obstructed, trapped feeling in the outdoors. We're going to use a tempered glass railing in our application, but how to mount it? We have 4 options. The first are these concrete tubes, which will be installed in the aggregate base behind the wall. Now the concern is, how do we work around the geogrid? We're going to have to cut it, and a lot of engineers won't sign off on it, so we're weary about this option. The second is a proprietary rail installation system that's conically shaped like this one here. It's got a base, feet, and a perforated top. It will be installed behind the wall in the gravel and filled with concrete to support our railing. This is designed by engineers to work with geogrids, so this is a great option. We could also wall mount our tempered glass railing. That's going to give us a clean, modern look. Another option would be to top mount on full depth step units that are adhered together to engineer spec. We could top mount our railing system. Let's bring in that tempered glass. Clean, modern, value-conscious look. I think we'll go top mount.